Those of you who've read the Old Testament at all will know that God's people, the Israelites, if you were to chart their spiritual progress, they kind of look like this. They did really well for a while, and then they drop off, and then they do better, and then they drop off, and their whole existence seemed to have been sort of a roller coaster like that. They would do well, and then badly, and well, and badly, and some of that had to do with unfaithfulness. Some of that just had to do with them not listening to God properly and just giving up. But I think a lot of it at times had to do with them just becoming tired and discouraged. That's certainly true of individuals in the story. If you watched the sermon on Sunday, I told you the story about Elijah on Mount Carmel in chapter 18 of 1 Kings. In 1 Kings chapter 19, after that great battle he has and how he proves that God is the God of Israel and he wins this great contest, then he gets scared and he runs away to the desert. And it says that when he gets to the place where he's going, God meets him there and asks him a question. 1 Kings 19, it says, "The word of the Lord came to Elijah and said, 'What are you doing here, Elijah?'" Elijah had run away from his responsibilities. He's out in the desert by himself, and God says, "Why are you here?" And Elijah replies, "I've been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. I've been way up here for a long time." He says, "But the Israelites have rejected your covenant. They've broken your altars. They put your prophets to death with the sword, and I'm the only one left, and they're trying to kill me too." Do you ever feel like that? You've just tried your hardest, you're just really trying real hard and nothing's working out and everything's falling apart and you just want to quit. That's where Elijah's at. He just wants to quit. He says, "I give up." God speaks to him in this moment, and he actually comes to him in a couple of different ways. He starts by bringing a powerful wind, and it says God wasn't in that wind, and then he brings an earthquake, but God wasn't in that. Then he comes in with a great big fire, but God wasn't there. And then he comes in a quiet whisper. And the quiet whisper, again, he asks him this question. Once again, "Elijah, what are you doing here?" So Elijah again talks about how discouraged he feels, and God comes back and says, "You know what? You need to go back home. This isn't as bad as you think it is. In fact, I've got 7,000 other people in this country who are on your side, who haven't given up yet. There's more going on than you know, Elijah." Come to the New Testament and we see Peter. Peter is one of Jesus's followers, and he keeps saying, "I'll do anything. I'll fight to the death for you." And then when Jesus is arrested and crucified, Peter runs away and denies ever knowing Jesus. He went from up here to down here pretty quickly. End of John 21, Jesus comes back and says, "Peter, do you love me? Then go feed my sheep. Get back at it. It's going to be okay. It's not as bad as it seems." I like the fact that the Bible includes stories like that, not just stories about people who are biblical heroes who are always faithful and always hopeful and always ready to go. I like that once in a while it tells us they were human. And they didn't always feel like trying, and they got worn out, and they were discouraged at times. But I like even better that God keeps coming back and saying, "Don't give up yet. I'm still working. Things are okay. It's not so bad. There are blessings to be seen. There are things going on you do not know." If I'm honest with you for half a second, the last couple of days I felt sort of down. I'm just tired. I'm looking for a vacation, and maybe I need a vacation. Maybe I need to take a break. But I think it's actually just part of a natural cycle too. I think it's natural for us to try hard for a while and then get worn out, need to relax and rest a bit, and then try really hard again. That's not necessarily the worst thing, as long as it doesn't have to do with unfaithfulness. Sometimes you just get tired. Sometimes you just get discouraged. And once in a while, God's people needed him to step in and say to them, "It's okay. It's not so bad. I'm still with you. Let's try again." If you're discouraged today, may I encourage you to find some rest? Can I encourage you to find something that makes you hopeful? Can I encourage you to find something that is joy-bringing to you? But may I also encourage you to remember that it's normal and that it's natural and that it won't last, that you'll feel better again. Get some rest. Trust in God. everything's okay.